All right, Hari. You just passed the PMP literally like 2 minutes ago, maybe 1 minute ago. How do you feel?
I feel really excited, and I was super nervous while taking the exam because I was in keeping up with the time. I did the first part. I took like 100 minutes. I don't know what I was doing. I seriously was probably I was feeling like I was stumbled across each question, and I was calculating the time, and 1 minute and 70 seconds I was taking, and I was telling to myself that okay, I should improve, and I wasn't improving, but I improved a little bit, but it wasn't better. Anyway, the last slot of 60 minutes, 60 questions, I only had 37 minutes.
Wow.
And I could only finish until 163 questions.
So you only finished 163 questions, but you got 3 above targets. Yes. So you must have done pretty good on those 163 questions.
Yes.
I would say so. Okay, cool. So what was your basic? Yeah, I would say that's certifiable. Like this isn't the first time you took the test, right? It's the first. We've only been involved for 18 or so days together, I think, or maybe 20. Yeah. What was your story like before we got involved with the accelerator? How was your studying going then?
Sure. I started thinking about pursuing PMP during 2019, and I was having back and forth discussions with my friends, and everybody is like, okay, why do we need to take PMP and all that. Anyway, I registered in the website and paid for the membership, and took a online course. It was like $150 I paid, and I'm not going to mention
that's okay.
the course, but the instructor was like talking, and I was listening. Like you mentioned in one of your videos about robotic learning, something like that. So it was like that for me. I was like spending exhaustive hours. I was committed, but for some reason I wasn't understanding the strategies to grasp on the content. So I took a break. Then again, I restarted by the end of 2020. I'm doing this because of two reasons: company performance reviews as well as personal growth. So the second one, I started with a bang. Like it was really good. I was having the motivation. I really liked the instructor, and everything is good. But then when it comes to solving questions, I do not have a strategy. I did not have a strategy at all, and I was like rushing and stabbing, like you mentioned in one of your videos, for the answers, and I did not have any plan, so I wasn't worried much about. I didn't have any anxiety or anything like that. I took the exam, and each question as it passes, I was like, oh, okay, it's a tricky question again. So it was like a monumental, drive or something like that. You can say like each question is like a big hurdle to me. Like, what am I supposed to do? I got the same feeling like when I get into your hard questions made easy calls, and you ask. You select two people from the call and ask one of them to drive and the other one to assist, right? So I remember one of the first calls I made to you. You asked me, "Are you scared?" I was like, "No, I'm not scared," because I answered like that was because I wasn't feeling anything. I don't know how to express my emotion at that time to tackle the exam. I just visualize it like okay, take a question and look at it. Do you have any arrows to attack it? And I don't have no weapons to tackle that question. How to move forward from to tackle that question, right? So I know that that was my problem, but and I was slow too in all these simulator exams that that I was taking, I was like very focused on, okay, my problem is timekeeping. That is a serious problem for me. Somehow I lost track of time. I listened to your videos to track time, 30 minutes slots, and look at the time and all that. I look at the question and I forget everything. And so I was exercising myself, but this, if I would have gone through the accelerator and spent time solving that similar questions, like 3 iterations, I would have maybe practiced myself to get there. But yeah. I knew I wasn't good at time, and I thought I resolved that issue, but apparently it was not. Today it is proven that it was not resolved.
It's all right, but you got the content down, so you fixed the first half of it, and then you got better. You got enough of it, so you did good on time. So at least you knew that you had some more weapons in the sense to attack the questions. So that's great. That's great. And so, like, when you got into the accelerator and the program, what was different? You said previously it was a little like robotic or boring, like the other programs, whatever their names are. Who cares? What was the experience like when you got into the accelerator? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was having some interruptions. I can hear
it's
you
okay. Now. Okay, so like, what was the experience like when you got into the accelerator as far as like learning goes?
I was super committed. First of all, I wanted to know end to end what PMI is all about, or that the exam is all about. And when I listened to your videos, one thing I wanted to highlight is that the way your background and your black T-shirt, it's very it's very pleasant to watch. I'm not trying to play it here.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, so it's never boring at all to watch those videos and try to. It sticks in your brain the way you present it. Very easy to follow, and there are like several aha moments for me while watching the videos, like when you mention the change request and split, and no change request during planning. It's like you don't have to say it, but certain things you need to repeat back to the students for them to okay, that's how you need to perceive change request. Initial stages of planning, it is not needed, and later on during the execution from onwards, you need a change request. So there were several moments while reading the material and tackling the EVM formulas, and I was super excited to follow your content. It was simple, easy to follow, and I was committed. I was committed, naturally committed, because I did it twice. I showed my commitment. I was having a gap at the instructor, like I was in the pursuit to find the right instructor for me. So there were so many instructors telling, hey, you need to memorize certain things. So people are telling different stuff to you through YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff. So I listened to them and I realized, like, okay, I need to find there should be a way, because it's a very popular certification and it's been there for a long time, and a lot of people are taking it. So you have a sea of instructors online available through Udemy, YouTube, podcast, everywhere there are instructors. And I wasn't ready to spend money, to be honest with you. So to tell to the other PMP pursuants, whoever is pursuing the PMP, Scott's training is worth it. Take it, and it's the best training that I've gone through so far. I should thank you, and I should thank Salvador and you guys are the best. And Salvador, I should, I think, get into one of our coaching calls that is coming this Friday, and thank him separately. And the approach is what I loved the approach. You asked me whether I'm scared. I wasn't scared, but when you put me in the spot during the hard questions and made easy call, I was like frozen. I was like, okay, this is what he meant by scariness. Yes, I'm super scared right now. What to do?
That's all right. But you were very,
like,
you didn't put off a scared vibe or anything. I could see calculating and trying to figure it out. But I think it's good to be in a supportive place, but then like it kind of takes it up a little bit, the intensity or if the importance or anything like that. So you did great. Now you mentioned some things about memorization. Like a lot of people out there say you have to memorize all these things. And do you believe that? Like, should a student memorize PMP stuff?
I'll tell you my story. Like, grasping 5 process groups, 10 knowledge areas, and 49 processes was easy. It was coming to me. But people were talking about, one of the instructors were talking about, hey, I had all the tools and techniques in ITTOs memorized. So I was like, this guy is crazy. It's not possible at all. I mean, why you memorize like that? And then I started memorizing the 33 project documents. And I was like, oh, why am I doing this? Am I going back to my 10th grade memorization mode? What am I benefiting from this? And I was talking to my friend saying that I'm memorizing all these things, guys. I don't know where it will be useful for me. I don't feel good about this activity that I'm doing for myself. Your approach of taking it in a flow and explaining the outputs first for each processes, that was like the biggest revelation after a long time. I did a robotic process automation certification in 2019.
Wow.
And I was happy that I did that because that certification gave me a great perspective of studying with passion. And I wasn't getting to that mode of passionate studying with PMP somehow. A lot of memorization. I did the strategy to do it, and I was struggling to find a strategy. And your strategy really worked, and it was easy for me to understand. I didn't have to memorize anything. It was just coming to me. It was coming. It was easy for me to get that flow going and try to understand. If one of my goals was, if somebody asked me, hey, what is PMP all about, and how do you approach a project, I feel like now I have the capability to explain it to another person. So that was one of the goals that I had.
Yeah. That is great. Do you feel like you're a better project manager having gone through it and not memorized it and actually be able to explain and say it in your own words?
Never. I've taken exams like that, like memorize the dumps and go and release, because you already know most of the questions. You memorize them, and as soon as you read the question, I know the answer of this question. I'm clicking and moving on, and you get the certification. But that excitement only lasts for a week maximum. I want a persistent excitement, because I had that success feeling before, and I know the difference between taking a certification with good strategy and taking a certification memorizing something. So I know the value of this certification now by going through this course, and spending this money is I'm glad that I called you and I enrolled in your course. 7-day Accelerator.
That's really great. So there's probably a lot of students out there that are struggling. trying to do the same things that you were doing, not knowing any better, all those things. If anybody was in the spot where you were in a couple of weeks or months ago, what would be your advice for those struggling students? Can you hear me? Advice for the struggling students. I know we're having technical
advice to the struggling students is, yeah, there is voice interruptions, so that's why.
All right. It's all right. You can keep going. You're good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Advice to the students is that one of the major challenges that the student, I'm the student, so was to identify. So that itself is that identifying your guru, who to choose from, is one of the biggest tasks. So there is an easy way I can advise people that Scott's training program, 7-day Accelerator, is one of the best. And I've gone through so far 3 trainings, and out of the 3, this is the one that worked for me. Right. And not only you don't have to memorize anything. This strategy, that's what you need to understand. There's a strategy that you need to follow cover to cover. So many people tell you to read the PMBOK once cover to cover, read Tom Mulcahy's book cover to cover, and then you memorize these formulas, and then don't do that. You don't have to do that. You just need to find a strategy and approach to tackle this exam. Otherwise, you'll be passing the exam, but you won't be remembering anything after 2 weeks. But right. This course, you will remember this what you studied for a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, all right. I really think you did an amazing job. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think that's awesome. You did an amazing job. I appreciate everything you did. It's sad to see you go, but I'm happy that you passed and you did so well. So just wanted to say congratulations and thank you. This won't be the last time we chat, but thank you very much, and just great job getting 3 above targets. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you.